it's DJ JD Bass, and I'm going to do another product review for you here. I got the Presonus 24.4.2 live sound mixer, and let's jump right into it. I'll show you the back panel of the unit. We just got this sound mixer to replace our MG32. Lots of great features built into this mixer. So first off, we have 24 Xlr inputs, and as you can see, there's 24 right there, all the way up to number 1. And I'm using a lamp here, so it may be a little tricky to see all this stuff. 1 is way over there, and you got inserts and also line levels on each one. Also down here we have a left and right output and a selectable level, which is right there, and then also a mono output with a selectable level, and a talkback microphone input with a selectable level. Also unbalanced main outputs, as well as tape in. And the great thing about this mixer is, one of the great things, you have 4 subgroups which are located right here, and then also 10 auxiliary monitor mixes, which is awesome, which are located on the far side over here. Also 2 auxiliary input groups that are stereo groups. One thing that makes this mixer really cool is it's got the Firewire Inputs right here, and that actually hooks up to a laptop computer, and you can run VSL, which is their Virtual Studio Live software, and basically this is a Firewire interface as well as a live sound mixer. So very awesome. I'm going to go ahead and turn the unit on, and it'll light up like a Christmas tree basically. Bam! Just like that. Okay, first thing that I should show you on this mixer, which is really cool, is it has some extremely long faders, as you can see right here, and I think these are 100mm faders all the way down the board. That's 24 faders from left to right. Also, you have 4 subgroups and your main output right there. Very long, nice faders. They feel great. Very smooth. Moving up, starting off, the first thing we're going to talk about is the select buttons. For each channel, you have a select button. You also have a select button for each one of the subgroups, and also for the main output. You also have a select button for both of the effects, and also all 10 of the auxiliaries have a select button. Now what the select button does is it routes you to this what's called fat channel, and this fat channel has everything from your low pass filter, which is right over here. It also has a gate, which is right over here, and a downward expander, which is also linked with the gate section. You have a compressor, full compression. You also have a limiter right here, and for all these, they have on-off switches and various buttons that glow very well when they're on, which is very nice. It's easy to see in the dark. And then also you have a 4-band equalizer with a selectable frequency, and then what they call a low or high Q, which is the width of that frequency range, and then the amount that you want to boost or cut. Sorry, that would be boost, this would be cut. So that's for every channel. You have that with these select buttons. And as you can see, when I press the select button, the settings change up top, and that's because I have a different preset for each one of those. Moving on, since this is a digital board, you can actually put presets, your own presets, and then also they have presets built into the board itself for all kinds of instruments and microphone applications. So how you would do that is, first, let's just say we're on channel 1, like we are. Go over here where it says load, press the load button, and then go over here to find whatever you'd like to put on there. Let's just put on female Vox 1 until you push recall, which is right here. and it sets all of these different settings on the fat channel to this preset that they have built into the board itself. Now, for instance, if I wanted to put on one of my own presets for a snare drum, I call this one DH snare, I'd press recall and watch what happens. All of these settings change to be a snare setting that I made up, basically. Not only can you do that for each individual channel, but you can also save the settings for the entire board, and that's in the scenes section right here. So it's done very easily. All you have to do is press scene, and then you press store, select an empty spot, and then name it and press store again, and basically you just saved every setting in the entire board. Last part that I'm going to talk about, trying to keep it very simple here, is we have our mix control areas for our auxiliaries. So if you press on control, the mix control button on auxiliary 1, all of these lights go out, and the reason is because each one of these is linked with each channel. So just say this is auxiliary 1 is for my first monitor on stage, and just say I have on channel 1 the vocal of the singer who's standing right in front of it. He wants to hear his vocals pretty loud. I could turn them up, and let's just say on this next channel as the backup singer, and he does some harmony with the backup singer, so he'd like to hear a little bit of their vocals. And let's just say down here on channel 12 is the rhythm guitar, and he'd like to hear a little bit of the rhythm guitar, so forth and so on. You could turn them up as much as you want, all the way down the line, until you get his monitor mix right. And then you can move on to the next monitor and adjust those however that person wants them. Now remember, when you save a scene, everything that you saved in here, even having to do with the auxiliaries, can be saved as well as all of the presets that you have loaded in, or customized settings for the entire board. So if you're doing a band regularly, you can go ahead and save their preset into the scene setting and then just call it up the next time you work with that band, and it should be a lot easier. Also here up on the top we have our effects, and the effects work a lot like the different auxiliary areas. With the effects, it's the same type of thing. You're just calling up how much of the effect you'd like on each one of these channels. There are 2 effects that you can be using at the same time on this unit, and when you press the effects button, which is down here, it will show you what the effect A is and what the effect B is. So here's A and B. You also have just an analog knob here. That'll just be the overall amount of that effect. And you have a nice handy dandy mute button if you're getting some feedback or some problems. You just want to mute it right out. Tap on that, and there it is. One cool thing too is you have a fat channel for the effects, which is pretty neat if you want to take out some of the low end of, say, the reverb, and you just want it to be real shimmery on top. You can set a high pass filter for your reverb. You can really tailor the effects any way you'd like using this fat channel. So that's really awesome. So yeah, this is a very cool mixer. One last thing that I wanted to show you is, and I'll try to make it so you can see. I got this lamp here. This is just the demo mode, but I do have the full version that I can run on here. This is called SL Remote, and this is a software that you can actually run this awesome mixer from your iPad, which is what this is, the iPad 2. And it's so simple to use. You have all your channels right here. Now you do have to have a computer and a wireless router to actually hook this up and make it run properly. But I got channels 24, scroll over all the way to number 1, and if I tap on right above the channel, I get my entire gate section, my compressor section, my limiter, my equalizer, and the cool thing is you can just grab hold and just pull down, go across whatever frequencies you want, and just listen to the sound until you get it exactly how you want it to sound. It's just awesome. And then also you have a your master section. This is your master volume. Turn it up however you want. Here's your subgroups right there. You have, this is your master compressor, gate, and equalizer. Also on here you have a whole section for your auxiliaries. So here's auxiliary 1 right here, if you could see that. And you could just turn up channel 1 just like this. Channel 2, this is for auxiliary 1. Go over to auxiliary 2, turn up channel 5, channel 7, and then you can go over here, and the last tab here on this iPad is your graphic equalizer, and you have a 31 band equalizer. You have 8 of them built in for the 24.4.2, and you can assign them to, see if you can see this. There you go. It's a little bit easier. You can assign these to auxiliary 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, your main mix, or also your submixes. You can go ahead just like any 31 band EQ and drop or boost. You can also link the two together. I have them linked right now. So if I drop these like this, they're dropped on both sides. Could be very useful. Also, you can draw the EQ curve that you want to do. This is really neat. Watch what happens when I draw it out. You can't do that with any analog EQ. It's a silly EQ curve, but still, really cool. So yeah, this is just an amazing application to be used with an awesome mixer. And I did use it once so far, and I was very, very impressed. It was very easy to use. There's so much options built into both the SL remote and the mixer itself that you can keep going and going to making a band sound better and better as the night goes on. It's really awesome. And then as you get them to sound better, or get a certain preset that you like, whether it be an instrument preset or the whole mix, and save it as a scene, you can go over and just save it repeatedly through the night. And that's kind of what I did with the band I was working with. So the next time I work with them, I'll kind of have a benchmark to start with, which will be really cool. So that's all I'm going to show you on this review. I hope you've really enjoyed it, and I will be continuing to bring you more reviews and information on this amazing mixer.